Hey guys, this is Sun Cortero, and today we are going to be talking about the energy of the current relationship or situationship that you are in. So we have 5 piles today, and so I'm trying to make it fairly vague or general, the type of relationship that it is, because I think that there could be a lot of different types of people in different relationships watching this, and I wanted to just sort of just like broadly get the energy of whatever sort of relationship or thing that you're dealing with. And if you're currently like very single, obviously like whatever pile or piles you're drawn to will probably be talking about the energy of like the upcoming relationship or situationship, romantic, that you find yourself in. So this is mainly just basically the only limiting factor is that it is intended to be a romantic reading. So these are your piles. You have 5 piles to choose from. I totally I don't really know how it's read in the camera. Okay, I think that this one, yeah. You would start with this one. Okay, so the first pile we have is amethyst. So here's our amethyst. That's pile 1. And I pre-shuffled cards from this deck that I had made, where I combined the major arcana of 2 different decks. So we got just sort of like an overall energy card pre-pulled, but those were the only cards that I was going to sort of like pre-pull like that. Sorry, excuse my foot in this. I just honestly like hate sitting down for these readings. It makes me so uncomfortable. I'm a very squirmy person, so like sitting on the floor is very difficult for me, or sitting on the floor in one position is very difficult for me. Okay, but pile 2 we have citrine. Pile 3 we have tiger's eye. Pile 4 we have red jasper. In pile 5 we have Dalmatian jasper. Alright, so you can take some time meditating on the energy of your current relationship, and then also the energy of like the different piles, maybe the card and crystal, or just the crystal. But yeah, you could have messages in more than one pile, but also only take what does resonate with you. So even if you do have messages in more than one pile, it could either mean you have multiple timelines, or just there are different aspects of each of these different timelines that apply to the one that you're meant to take. So of course, only take whatever energy feels best to you to take. It's your journey and you know best. But so I will see you in your reading, and I'll get started with pile 1. Hello, pile 1. If you chose this amethyst, this will be your reading about the current relationship or energy that you're in. So let's see, we have death of situation or endings, new beginnings. So this is either, so you're on the cusp. I'm gonna pull more cards about like where specifically you are, but there's definitely like a recent ending and a recent transformation into a new beginning. And so basically one of the biggest questions for each of these piles is, is this like an actual real relationship that you're currently in, or is it something that you're going to be starting? And I feel like this could be a pile where someone could potentially be starting something, or, whatever it is that, or whoever it is that this pile is about it's about someone that's, you know, if you met them, you probably met them very recently. They're probably very new to your life. So yeah, we'll pull more cards on that because it could be a lot of things. It could be that, you know, you did just meet someone and this is kind of telling you that something more is going to happen with them. Or it could also mean that you're ending something with someone that you're currently in, and then, you know, soon after that you will meet someone. That's sort of what needs to happen before that is obviously for you to take yourself out of this relationship or, you know, situation, but we'll get some more cards on it. So let's see. Oh my gosh. All right, pile one. What is the current energy of their relationship status? Yeah, I guess that's mostly what this is. It's like a reading about the current energy of your relationship status. Okay, so pile one. Okay, Nine of Swords. Nine of Swords. Nine of Swords kind of gives me a similar energy to the Death card, honestly. Let's see what else. Okay, so I'm thinking that it could really be that you were thinking about ending something. King of Swords. Okay, so the King of Swords was peeking out at me before. Like, I really wanted it to come through, but then it didn't fall out. Page of Wands on back. But, I think that, I mean, it obviously did when it comes through. All right, well, okay, let's see. I'm gonna finish getting the cards because I'm still getting the possibility of two scenarios. It could either be that you're really ending something with someone, and that's where sort of this anxiety and worry is coming about. You sort of needing to take control and realize that you need this to break up with whoever you're currently with. Or it could also be that, you know, this anxiety is coming from recently meeting a person and seeing a potential new beginning and feeling a little unable to take control, or maybe a little paralyzed. Ooh, the Tower came out, and then the King of Pentacles. Okay, so let's see. I mean, those cards did come out when I was talking about the other timeline, so I'm going to get some clarifying cards. So let's see. I mean, honestly, I am. So I'm feeling like even if this is just, okay, honestly, I'm getting that it's sort of the continuation of the same timeline. So I think that regardless of who you are, you're going to have to put something to rest. You're going to have to sort of chop down something. This King of Pentacles is giving me almost like a lumberjack vibe. I feel, combined with the Nine of Swords, I feel like it is going to have to be like sort of cutting something down. Regardless of if that's actually a romantic relationship. I think that for the people who are currently in the energy of approaching this death, it's probably a romantic relationship, but I feel like for the people who this is probably like an old, something that already happened, it could definitely be something like, I don't know, like you just had to, maybe you had to move somewhere, maybe you had to change jobs, you just had to do something different in your life, you know, maybe move out of the current place that you're living. Like, just something had to change. You did have to take control and make sort of like an uncomfortable, not easy change. Something that did probably give you a little bit of anxiety, and I think that now you could have met a new person. Because, I mean, just like the speed of this, all these cards, you know, like the anxiety, and then the King of Swords, and then something happens, a big change happens, and then immediately followed by the King of Pentacles. So you're cutting down this thing very quickly, you're forcing this Tower moment, and then from that you will, like, very quickly be rewarded by, you know, I was going to say by your future spouse, but I mean, obviously we're going to get cards to clarify sort of the energy of the relationship, but I mean, obviously take what resonates. Different people, it could be a different person for them, but I mean, I could also have just said that just because I'm so used to doing future spouse readings, but I'm going to say that yes. So for this pile, the energy of your current relationship is that you, regardless, you're making a big change in your life. It could be romantic for some people. It could be, you know, in sort of like career or other physical aspects of life for other people. But regardless of what it is, you're making a change, or you already recently made a change, and you are going to be meeting someone very quickly because of that. And it is going to be a new beginning. And it's also sort of mentioning, so if you are like currently in a romantic relationship, I think it is saying, you know, something probably is a little off with that. I think you're going to need to cut it off. So yeah, the Nine of Swords clarified by strength. So I mean, obviously it is your life, but I am getting that if you are currently in a romantic relationship, there's probably, you know, okay, there's probably a reason why you're coming to these sorts of readings, probably, you know, readings like what is the energy of your current relationship. I think it probably is because you're wanting to, maybe you sort of want to feel validated in some things that you don't truly believe, and maybe you feel like you want to sort of make sure that people aren't thinking what you're worried they're thinking, i.e. you're worried that you should break up with this person, and I think that that probably is the answer. So King of Swords, yeah, Two of Pentacles, you are juggling it, so it could be something like, this person isn't even that bad. Yeah, okay, so the Tower and the Lovers. So that's what I'm getting. I think that that could be maybe the hard part too. It's like, whatever you're leaving behind, it really isn't that bad, because I was a little bit confused also because of the energy, because I wasn't getting that much, like, you know, torture or torment and like from these cards. So like I wasn't feeling like this is like a big toxic cycle that you're in that you need to get out of. And I mean, maybe it is like a fairly toxic cycle, but I think it's mostly just something like, this is something that simply isn't aligned with you anymore. Or if it's a person, it's like maybe a person that you grew apart from. I mean, because you do have very strong energy. You have very like, I feel like you very much like cut down timelines, like different life paths for you, because you very quickly learn lessons. So you're quickly sort of cycling through, different timelines that you have laid out for yourself. You're just like closing them because you learn things so quickly. So I think you do have such sort of a powerful energy, and maybe this was a person who was able to keep up with you, or like a job or career that was able to keep up with you and keep you satisfied throughout a long period of your life, but now you're finding that you're going to need to turn to something else. Because I mean, look at these cards that are clarifying it. It's not bad at all, you know. Like strength is like a very cushy card, you know. Like there are a lot of cards that talk about perseverance, but strength is sort of like it gives me like a sun energy almost as well, because it is, I think it's associated with Leo. I think, I'm not sure. But I'm not too great at that, at knowing the major arcana and zodiac signs. But I mean, then you have the Two of Pentacles. You're juggling the decision of whether or not to keep this thing. And I think your thought process could be, you know, like, is there truly something better out there? Or is whatever is out there that I think is going to make me feel better, will it actually make me feel better? Because I thought that this thing that I currently have was going to make me feel good, but now I have to turn away from it. And I think that you just sort of need to realize that that's just sort of, as a person, that's like just the path that you're on. Like as a human being on this earth, you're just sort of constantly in pursuit of like what you think is the right thing. And you should, like, maybe a message for you for some of you is that you need to understand that wherever you're at is where you're at, and you're always sort of, as long as you truly believe that you have your best interest in mind, you should never maybe second guess where your actions that are based out of your feelings are going to bring you. So I feel like, you know, before, because you had always been very emotionally led in whatever choice it was to pursue this thing that you have trouble breaking up with or leaving behind in the past, you, like, it was an emotional decision that you made, and you felt very fulfilled by it. And so I think that you're almost like second guessing your intuition, or second guessing like how much you trust your feelings to truly, like, I don't know, like bring you what you think your feelings are gonna bring you. I feel like before you were very in tune with your emotions, and you still are, but now you just, it's like you almost don't trust them as much anymore, because you feel a little bit betrayed by this past situation because it didn't fulfill you in the way that you wanted it to. But like, I guess, so the message here today really is like reconfirmation or confirmation. I'm like reaffirming to you that leaving behind this thing will truly lead for better. Because I mean, you have the Two of Pentacles and the Lovers right next to each other, and I mean, actually this way. They're both, this is, the Lovers is also called the choice, and so it's about like juggling things, and so it's two choices, but it's two choice cards, with the harder one first, maybe the one with more like hard work, and then the one that's a little bit more lovey-dovey, a little more cushy afterwards. So like, you're going to make a choice, but then you're going to realize that it really is the right choice, because something is going to, and it's going to be given to you fast. Like, you're going to get something, you're going to very quickly probably like meet someone new very quickly. And I think that even if who you meet is not necessarily your future spouse, I think that who you meet is still going to fulfill you in a way that the thing that you left behind did not. Even if what you left behind was like a career, I think that, even if the thing that you left behind is like a career or something, I think that still the person that you're going to meet is going to, fulfill some emotional need that other relationships in the past have not. And then we have the Temperance card for the King of Pentacles. So I think it's just sort of, and I think it's different for different people. I don't think that you're supposed to know that much about, you're not supposed to know that much about your past relationship, except for you're supposed to leave it in the past. And you're not supposed to know that much about your future relationship, except that it's the future, so it's going to inevitably be sort of what you need. Even if it doesn't turn out to be what you need long term, it's going to be what you need when you come across it. And I think that sort of what you do have to embody is this sort of temperance. You do have to, unfortunately, gain some sort of like, I want to say, self-control over your emotions. You need to be able to feel your emotions without having them overtake you. You need to understand that, you can pursue someone and think that it's in your best interest, and maybe it turns out to not be in your best interest, and you have to learn to not take that so personally. I feel like you really sort of get in a rut when you think that you're wrong about something. I think it really makes you second guess yourself and your feelings and your intuition and like the universe and everything. And so I think that you're being a little called to be grounded, because you are going to be given a new opportunity a little quickly. And so I think that you're supposed to be excited about it, but you're also supposed to remember that sort of the lesson that you had to learn from closing out this cycle in the past was like, things can be meant for you only temporarily, and if something wasn't meant for the long term, does not mean that it was a wrong decision or it was never the right thing at all. I think that you're just really basically supposed to be embodying this temperance energy of like balance and peace and accepting things as they are and going with the flow, and not holding yourself to such a high standard, not having such high expectations when it comes to outcomes specifically. I think that you really expect a lot from romance and relationships and people in general, and I think that you're sort of being called to understand where maybe you're not seeing everything for exactly what it is, or maybe where you're filling in the blanks where you should be, instead like letting the other people tell you or show you who they are, instead of, having yourself fill in the blanks. So let's get some more cards. Let's get a couple oracle cards. This is a beautiful message, though, because I mean, this is something I heavily resonate with. Detachment is very difficult, and I mean, I think that it goes a little beyond detachment. What this is, it goes sort of to just like you know what you're going to achieve. Basically, I feel like you are very intuitive and you sort of understand. I am getting High Priestess energy from this. I feel like you sort of understand. You know, the different, because you do close out cycles very quickly. You know the lessons that you're supposed to learn. There is some sort of like, you know, metacognition about it. You know what you're supposed to know. So I think you do sort of know that you're going to find someone who does check all of these boxes and who does make you feel the way that you think you're going to feel. And you sort of just have to believe and trust and sit back and let the universe bring that to you, and maybe understand also that there are more lessons to be learned sometimes. Like I feel like you know what the outcome is, but you don't know that there are still some obstacles disguised as the outcome en route to the outcome. So, which is a little paradoxical because, like, you know, how are obstacles disguised as the outcome is, you know, you meet someone that you think is the person that you're gonna end up with, but then they end up, you end up just trusting them a little too soon and they let you down, and so you realize that, oh, I need to maybe not be so hasty with trusting people, and that was just a lesson that you had to learn. That was just like maybe something just sort of helpful, and, you know, something that makes you just embody like maybe the highest version of yourself, like the best version of yourself, learning that lesson. Spaceship, don't be afraid to sing. Yeah, so I think that you're supposed to really, I mean, you're being called right now to sort of step into your energy to really, to find what does bring you sort of personal happiness. I mean, because it is a little paradoxical. There is a lot about, you know, you're going to be given these opportunities with other people and relationships and contacts and stuff like that, but you're still really supposed to like try and ground yourself in your energy. I guess you're someone who can sort of handle that. Maybe you have like a lot of energy to you or something. Clover, release your guilt. Aw. Interesting. Yeah, I think that you feel bad about leaving this thing in the past. It could have been something like, I mean, it could have just, yeah, I think that you feel like you deceived yourself, you deceived other people because you really had every intention of seeing this thing through to the end. But then you realized the end is not going to bring me to the end that I thought it was. And you do need to release that. You need to, I mean, feel it, understand it, see where it's coming from. Maybe, I mean, you don't really owe other people many things, but like maybe you have some past trauma that's causing these feelings, and you're supposed to, you know, your job right now is to sort of identify it and try to release it. But yeah, still, like, release it. Raindrops, take a chance on them. And universe, we're all just stardust. Let's see. Yeah, so it's going to be take a chance on them because you're going to be closing out something, and so maybe you're not even going to really be in that much of an energy of wanting to pursue something new, but I think someone is going to be put on your path fairly quickly after this ending, and you are supposed to take a chance on them because they're going to be there for a reason. And I think that right after this cycle you're closing down, you may have a little bit of trust issues, and so you are being called to, you know, identify that just because you had to close down something that turned out to not be what you thought it was does not mean that everything is not going to turn out how you thought it was. And so I think that you're being called to understand that, you know, before, if you were met with this new person, you would have been so excited about them. But because you're met with this new person right after you shut down this cycle with someone that you thought was going to, like, maybe be it for you, I think that you're having trouble letting this person in because you're like, oh, you're probably just going to turn out just like them. So just make sure that you're open and receptive to whoever comes right now. Universe, we're all just stardust. Yeah, I mean, you're just gonna have to take that sort of very humble approach of, yeah, being like, we're all just stardust, we're all just people who are here to try and, we're trying to make ourselves happy. And so you're not, if you fail at that in any way, like, don't be hard on yourself, because you had every intention of doing the right thing and making yourself happy, doing the right thing, or like doing whatever brings you to the outcome that you wanted. So don't be too hard on yourself if you if you have trouble bringing yourself there, like, we're all really just trying to do the best that we can. So I am going to leave it there for you, pile one. I hope that you liked that reading. I honestly really enjoyed channeling it. I did. That's just definitely an energy that I could relate to being in. I mean, it's something that I'm still sort of trying to embody now. So I definitely feel for you, but I'm also very, like, I feel for you for having, like, the tough cycle to close down, but also, I'm definitely really excited for you about this new beginning, because I think it is going to teach you important lessons, and that lesson really is going to be, trust in your own intuition and trust in, the possibility. And don't think that things are going to go wrong just because they went wrong in the past. Because I think that this next thing is going to definitely go very right in a lot of ways. But, okay, pile one, I'm going to leave it there. If you like this video, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, tell me what resonated or what you would like to see in a reading in the comments. But now, oops. All right, now we are moving on to pile two. Hello, pile two. If you chose this citrine, sorry, I have to move my legs. If you chose this citrine, this will be your this will be your pile. Okay, so you have the Tower. That is your card. Pretty intense. Catastrophe, accident, things happening very quickly at lightning pace. So when this card came out, I did honestly, it felt a little reminiscent of pile one, so you guys could have similar messages in pile one. Oh my gosh, my sock. This is just getting too much. But my leg really hurts so badly. I cannot keep them just whatever it's called, bent. But okay. You guys could possibly have similar messages in pile one. But so you have the Tower. Alright. Let's take a minute. Let's take a minute to look at this card. Let's see it. Well, I see two people falling out of this burning building. It's like, because pile one had death, and so death is about rebirth. The Tower is about the Tower is also about rebirth, but it's a little more destructive rebirth. So or maybe a little bit chaotic. There's definitely, like, I'll leave it at the death card definitely has better or lighter connotations than the Tower card, I feel like, which is interesting because the death card is literally called death and the Tower is just called a tower. So there could be some energy in this of, like, maybe something's you think it's a little worse than it actually is, or maybe the converse, maybe it's a little worse than it seems, but we'll find out. So let's see, what's the energy of pile one's current relationship status? But I mean, it could also be like this. I mean, we'll wait and see. I also don't know if it's, is this a situation within the situationship energy that you're in, or is this sort of like, and what I mean by that is this, like, are you going through a Tower moment with someone else? Like, maybe you and a partner are moving somewhere and it's really huge, or is this Tower moment sort of due to the dynamic of your relationship energy, you know, where it's like you're breaking up with someone or something? Strength, I think, oh my gosh, so pile 1 also had the Strength card, but it was clarifying something. It was clarifying something in the first position too. So you could definitely have similar messages in pile 1. So the Strength card, let's continue. The Ten of Pentacles, wow. Ten of Pentacles, oh wow, the Six of Wands. Let's see if anything else wants to come through from this pile. Let's see. 2 more cards wanted to come through. We have the Fool, wow, and we have the World. These are some big cards, my guys. That's like pretty intense, that really is. Let's move these there, let's move these there, alright. Yeah, these are some intense cards, I mean, because these are from the entire deck, not just the Major Arcana deck, but we have Strength, we have 10 of Pentacles, we have Wands, we have 6 of Wands, we have the Fool, and we have the World. So I am going to get some more energy about this, or some more cards about this, but I'm definitely getting the energy of something probably you thought something was going to be a little worse than it actually is. Because I mean, look at how nice these cards are. I mean, you're like, so there's definitely some Tower moment going on. You're definitely starting new somewhere. And I mean, I guess like the nature of the Tower is that you do have to like sort of experience like the destruction. But I mean, now that I'm looking at it, this tower is like intact. So maybe it's not that necessarily you had to destroy something so much as you had to resurrect something new. Because I mean, I am getting that a little bit by the Fool and the 10 of Pentacles. You know, it feels like it is like starting at 0 and then completing this cycle, this circle, and getting all the way to, you know, number 10 to 100%. And so I'm going to get some more cards, obviously, to clarify, because this is super vague. I mean, but this is about your relationship. Oh my gosh. And then you got 10 of Swords. So what was so interesting about pile 1 is pile 1 had sort of the opposite, but they had the 9 of Swords up here and then 9 of Swords. And then they clarified by the Strength card in this deck. And so, I mean, I looked on the back of the deck and it's the Hermit. So I think that it is there. Okay, so I think there's like there's depth to it. So it's maybe similar to pile 1. You're also, you know, in some sort of transitionary period. You did have to experience, this is sort of like a death. This is like a completion of very, you know, look at the blood, look at the swords. It's like a sort of desolate completion, you know. It's a little bit messy. And so I think that you did, I'm getting that it probably is a relationship. Maybe it was a little bit of a toxic relationship, potentially. Let's continue though. So I feel like okay, so this is interesting. What I was going to say is what I feel like was the most different between pile 1 and pile 2. So I'm getting similar energies, is that pile 1, it was a little bit more of a quick energy of like, you know, you're meant to experience this closing down of a cycle because you're meant to be like given something new very quickly to like undergo a new cycle with, or to learn new lessons from. Regardless if it's the person you're supposed to end up with. But initially what I felt like with this one was a little bit more long term, you know, where the pile 1 was a little more like quick learning lessons. I feel like this one was more maybe one specific relationship in your life had a lot of lessons embodied within it, and so it was a very long-term relationship. Maybe it was something that yeah, I think it turned very complex, very complex, and a little toxic in that complexity. I think that because there were a lot of lessons, I am getting like a very strongly karmic energy from it. But I mean, but then as I was thinking to myself, like, you know, I'm getting this longer term energy, I got the 7 of Swords from it. So let's continue. Let's continue, because it is a little confusing, but I mean, like 10 of Swords and then the 7 of Swords. So then we have the Knight of Wands, and then the 7 of Wands, and then the 10 of Wands. Wow, okay. So maybe that it was that, okay, so I think this is what it is. So I think you could currently be in, because look at this tower. This tower is still upright. It just sort of caught on fire. I feel like your relationship is turning toxic. Maybe it's been turning toxic for a while, but maybe you're just sort of starting to really, really think about the extent to how toxic it is. Maybe you're really starting to think, maybe this is something I should be worried about. And it could be something that did occur a little quickly, or maybe the realization hit you a little quickly. But I think that there's also an energy of maybe, yeah, when you got into the relationship with this person, maybe it was a little bit hasty. There is sort of an energy of you just being like, oh, I did just get crowns. Like I found them. Like I'm done. I'm done looking for love. I found it. I found a cool relationship, and I think that it was just someone that you clicked very instantly with, probably because they were some sort of karmic attraction with a lot of lessons attached to it. You're like, I mean, this Fool card does give me a little bit of like lightheaded, or a little bit of ditzy energy, shall I say. A little bit of like rose-colored glasses energy. Like, la-di-da, let me go, smell my rose, life is beautiful. And then, you know, clarifying the strength is you're eventually you feel like this, you know, you feel like you've come to the end. And I mean, you have 2 tens, like sandwiching the bottom energy. You have 10 of Swords and 10 of Wands. So I mean, it's gonna turn a little bit rough, but I mean, the good thing is, I think that maybe also what helps you understand that you really need to leave this relationship is, I do feel like it's making you a little bit weak in a lot of ways. I think that maybe it's draining you of your confidence, maybe your energy, maybe your time, maybe your actual money, you know. I think that whatever this person is, I think that I think that really, because you've learned all the lessons with them so far, or, you know, I think that your final lesson is sort of learning to walk away from them, but I think that you've learned a lot of lessons about like communication and what you need in a relationship and how you act in a relationship. I think you've probably really grown with this person and in this relationship, but I think that you are feeling a little defeated. You're feeling very weakened by them. You're feeling very drained. And so I think that the good news is that when you finally do decide to sort of walk away from this relationship, it is sort of the energy of like you do it from a place of confidence, you know, like you gather up, and maybe not like super secure, stable confidence, but it's from like you do have some amount of security in your decision. You do know that you're walking away for the right reasons and that it's going to be the right decision for you. And my stomach just grumbled so loudly when I said that. Yeah, there is an energy of pun. You're a little hungry for like the right thing. And so I think that you do, like, you have the awareness to understand that you're leaving behind something that's supposed to be left behind. And so it is an energy of like, because, you know, I definitely am getting a more positive energy from the 10 of Wands than the 10 of Swords. And I feel like the 10 of Swords is sort of like how weak this relationship made you. Maybe there was a period where you feel like you did hit rock bottom in this. And then you sort of transmute that energy into like the willpower to leave and find better for yourself. I think that you're like, I really do not deserve to feel this way. And even if I feel like I am irrational in feeling this way because of this person's actions, I need to still validate my feelings and find someone whose actions just do not make me feel so weak and drained. I mean, there is like, you have the 7 of Wands too. So 7 of Swords, 7 of Wands, interesting. So 10, 7, and then a knight. I really enjoy the symmetry of it. So I think there is something, and I mean that a similar message to you in pile 1 is that something is waiting for you, but I think that what you have to look forward to is definitely like sort of like the reward. I think that this time, once you do fully complete this cycle with this last person and sort of see this tower card through till the end, you completely let the tower obliterate itself, completely walk down and resurrect something completely new. I think that it will be the right thing. I think that you will truly be crowned with the right thing. So let's get some more energy. This is sweet though, you know. It's just like a little bit harder of an energy than pile 1. I think it's a little more, whatever this cycle is, it's a little more intense. Not to say that theirs wasn't intense, but I think that this is definitely like a karmic energy. Very strongly karmic energy. And maybe not at first. Maybe at first you really didn't think so. But it just like, there could have been some event specifically that happened, because I mean, look at this 10 of Pentacles. I feel like this 10 of Pentacles is the only card that I really haven't derived the energy out of. And I think that it's because like this 10 of Pentacles, these cards came out right after the other, you know? I think that, I mean, it very much is going to be like, you're going to find the strength to see this tower moment through, and then you're going to arrive at the 10 of Pentacles. Let's see, garden, something lovely will grow from this. Yeah, so that's going to be it. So the strength, it's the strength to walk away, to quickly walk away, and then the strength to like once again be the Fool and resurrect something. Or I feel like it's honestly not even you resurrecting something yourself. It's like, it's the universe giving you something. You are being handed something, and, you know, the garden, something lovely will grow from this. You are naturally resurrecting something through your actions. You're manifesting this naturally by leaving this cycle behind, getting out of this relationship, because I do feel like this pile is probably more what you're leaving behind that's so toxic is some sort of relationship. It could be a friendship, but I feel like it's probably mostly a romantic relationship. Garden, something lovely will grow from this, because I feel like, yeah, very directly, something lovely will grow from this. So you can't exactly, unless you're in a polyamorous relationship, take what resonates. But I mean, I feel like a lot of you couldn't meet someone new romantically until you got out of this cycle with this other person in the past. Lioness, you've earned all your stripes. Yeah, so it's like this is going to be the last thing you have to go through. I can pretty confidently say that the person that you meet after this tower moment, it is going to be the person that you are with long term. It's going to be, they're going to give you the energy that this person in the past could not. They're going to treat you in the way that the person in the past would not. Sword, make the change. Yeah, so you do have to make the change. You have to cut it down. You have to cut it out. And truly, I can tell you that, I mean, let's pull some cards on it. The relationship, the energy of your future relationship, it's going to be, it is going to be like a manifestation. The Matrix. So what I'm getting for this is like so pile 1 had the message also of like closing down timelines. I feel like you are also, because there could have been very much a timeline with you perpetually stuck in the cycle with this person because you just felt attached to them, and maybe you like sort of almost gaslit your own feelings. You were like, no, I shouldn't feel this way. And so I think that very much you being able to chop yourself out of this tower moment and, you know, ignite this tower moment and leave this cycle behind. It's sort of you like breaking free of that timeline and making something new for yourself. Lovely. Let's see a new one, a new energy. Little children, oh yeah, so that's going to be how this new relationship makes you feel. And look at the beautiful symmetry in the color scheme of these cards. Like, you're just really going to, oh my gosh, I am truly so excited for you guys. I can just feel the energy. This could be a message for you. I think that you could immediately see this person, I'm going to confidently call them your future spouse, or functionally your future spouse. They're going to be your long-term partner, even if you don't actually get married. But I think that there's going to be an energy of you closing out this cycle, maybe being in a little bit of a hermit period by yourself, maybe just needing a break. But then you're gonna get all your ducks in a row. I feel like you're gonna already find this Ten of Pentacles within yourself. You're gonna have built yourself up from the weak state that this past relationship left you in, and you're just gonna, this energy of the Matrix card is giving me an eyeball, so you're just gonna like see this future spouse like in the world, and you're just gonna spot them with your eye, and you're gonna be like, yes, this is what I've been waiting for. This is exactly the peace and serenity in my life has brought me exactly to this moment, because like I am meant to be in this state. I'm meant to be, seeing this person, making eye contact with them right now. So it is a very beautiful energy. Oh, so I'm very happy for you guys, truly. Okay, pile one, I am going to leave your pile there though. I would honestly love to dive a little bit more into the energy of the relationship with your future partner, because I feel like it is very beautiful just from what I was getting a little glimpse at right there at the end. But if you would like to sort of dive into that, feel free to watch some of my other future spouse readings, because I think that the readings, specifically about like the future spouse would be sort of the energy of the next relationship that you'll be in. Because it is, basically what I channel in those future spouse readings is just the energy of like whatever idyllic long-term partner is meant for you, or that you believe is meant for you, or that you want to be meant for you. It's all, you should feel very self-empowered by these readings, because really, like, it's all up to you. You pick what piles you want to hear. If you don't like the message, you can click out of it. Even if the message that you resonate the most with feels like a pipe dream, if it makes you feel giddy and happy and excited believing in that dream, then I truly believe you are meant to. Do what makes you feel best, but usually that is what makes you feel best. So I'm going to leave it there and say hello to pile 3, but first I think I'm going to go to the bathroom. Hi, pile 3. If you chose this tiger's eye, this will be your reading. All about, oh my gosh, the floor has so many fuzzballs on it. This will be your reading all about the energy of your current relationship. There really is just like so much fur on this carpet right now. It's getting in the way. All right. Let's see. I did have a large disruption actually before filming your pile. I thought I was just going to take a short little break to go to the bathroom, but I think I had a very large interruption. Oh my gosh, I forgot to turn over your card. The Magician, Creation. Okay, so I remember this pile. I remember shuffling it. So a lot of cards came out at first, and it took a while for any cards to come out. So I was like, maybe it's a little bit on purpose. And I looked at, but it was a lot of cards, and I didn't want to take it because it was way too many cards. But the Magician was one of them. And I remember looking at the cards because I feel like they were all connected probably. But yeah, the Magician was one of them. I forgot what the other ones were, but yeah, so I think that Creation, it says, you have many talents and skills. Like a magician, you can create anything you wish. So that's a beautiful energy to be in, obviously, for your relationship or whatever So, okay, we'll get some clarification. I don't know if this means maybe you're currently in a relationship, or maybe you'll be manifesting one. Let's see. Pile 1, energy of their current relationship. Ace of Wands, ooh. Okay, Ace of Wands. Let's see what else. The cards are a little thick, a little little slippery, or a little sticky, I mean. Okay. So I've usually been feeling a little bit like, the first card that comes out is a little bit like just general energy, and then like the rest of the cards sort of tell a story. Yeah. Okay, so this is interesting. Another pile actually had Temperance, I believe, in a similar area, like towards the end of the reading, but I think it was in the second row. So let's see. So I think that definitely, so what's happening is I think that, this is interesting. I think that you're probably currently, I don't know, I feel like you're single probably, because the Ace of Wands, I feel like you're I feel like you are single. I feel like but what you're manifesting is you are manifesting like a partner, whatever it is that you're wanting right now. I don't know if it's like commitment, or if you just do want someone to sort of, just someone to hang around, someone to have fun with. We'll see more about that. But yeah, I think that you were probably recently in this a little bit more defensive energy here with the Five of Wands and the Three of Swords. I think you were in a little bit of a defensive energy. Maybe you were defensive because you were single, or you were single because you were defensive, but there was just something a little bit going on where it was definitely needed, but I think you kind of also did need to dig yourself out of a rut a little bit. You needed to regain some sort of balance and stability for yourself. And I think that you were able to, you are very much bringing in that opportunity, whatever it is that you want. Okay, so Four of Cups came out from Ace of Wands. Yeah, so whatever it is that you want, you are truly in charge of it. And maybe you're feeling right now, because you are a little bit fresh out of this, maybe it is that right now you're not really feeling like you want a relationship, or maybe you're open to it, but you just don't want to do anything super serious right now. So maybe what you're doing right now is you're manifesting exactly what it is that you do want to experience. Maybe it could truly even be right now you do just truly want to be completely solo and not meet anyone because you just don't have the capacity. But then I think like a little bit later, after you've been in that energy for a little bit, you'll regain balance and stability, and then you'll, want to put yourself out there a little bit, and you'll gradually start, asking for cups and evaluating them. But you'll ask and put in specific, requests for them. So this is going to be you purposefully manifesting people and relationships and types of people and types of relationships that you want. And it's also telling you to do that consciously, consciously think about and try to put yourself in situations to be able to create these sort of relationships. We have the Page of Cups clarifying the Three of Swords. Yeah, so it was some sort of, I don't know, just some sort of heartbreak, and I feel like it could be, I don't know, so I feel like with the Three of Swords, I feel like it could have been with someone else, but I'm not seeing too many other people in these cards. I'm feeling like it's very much a solo energy currently, except for the Five of Wands. Oh, wow. Oh my gosh, so the Five of Wands we have clarified by the Magician, which is very powerful. And then the Nine of Swords clarified by the Three of Swords. Very powerful, because so we have two repeating things. The Magician and the Three of Swords. Let's get the rest of your cards. Ooh, a doggy. Alright, let's get the Nine of Pentacles. Let's see. Wow. Queen of Pentacles clarifying the Nine of Pentacles. Nine of Cups on the back of the deck. And then we have the Five of Cups clarifying Temperance. Okay guys, so what's really interesting is, to me, the Four of Cups and then the Five of Cups sort of sandwiching each other on the end. And the first one is the Four of Cups and the last one is the Five of Cups, so it's sort of increasing in number. So yeah, those sorts of increasing consecutive angel numbers could be of significance, like 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, 5, stuff like that. 12, 34, 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's see, I think that you know what, I'm gonna clarify a little bit more about the specific energy of this past heartbreak. Because I mean, it is sort of following you into the present, so I think it is related. And see, I'm also called to notice how similar this Temperance and this Magician card are. So they're both holding up their, something in a very similar way. They both have their other hand held in a similar way, but this one is holding a cup that is like spilling water. So let's get some cards about this past thing that you were dealing with. So I feel like right now your energy in love is you were recently in some sort of terrible heartbreak, and or just some sort of like deeply wounding heartbreak, or something happened, you realized something, I don't know, it may not have even been one specific thing, but I feel like, yeah, it was just some sort of deep insecurity. That's what I'm mainly getting that it is. I'm getting like it's personal insecurity, that sort of thing. And I think that you had to sort of manifest maybe a new version of yourself to be able to bring in what it is that you truly want in a partner, because I feel like before you were probably bringing in the wrong sort of people, because you weren't very clear about who you were as a person, and you weren't very comfortable in yourself. And I think that you had to realize that, and you had to recreate a sense of stability in yourself. And I'm drawn to the Magician. I just noticed the infinity sign in the cloud, so that could be important to you. And I'm seeing a tower behind here, which is interesting because I'm honestly getting energy of like a tower right now, like the tower card energy in your reading, just because there is a sense of having to recreate from the foundation. But I think it was a little bit less, yeah, I think it probably was a little bit less external than the other readings. I think this was more of a personal foundation that you had to rebuild, This card, I'm pretty sure, it did come out reversed at first, but I don't read reversals, but I sort of, pick up on the energy of them. And I am getting that this is probably reversed, which does sort of, I'm pretty sure it means it's a little bit more of an insular Three of Swords energy. And so I feel like it's just following you, and I think that that sort of same insecure energy could manifest itself in relationships for you. And so I think that you have to get over that. So paint the sun back into your sky. And that is sort of giving me, like the Magician energy. And I've been getting this card so much in readings recently. So it is a very powerful card. I think it's a very like general collective energy card. So it's like, take control of what you can and create the light where you think that there should be light. Like, don't listen to other people and let their words dictate more than what yours do. It's an energy of self-control, self-empowerment. Clover, release your guilt. This card also came out in another pile. Gray, endings are inevitable. Yes, okay, so it's sort of, release your guilt about maybe not being completely authentic about who you are, or maybe even just for not really understanding yourself. Maybe you thought you knew yourself, but then you had to realize, no, actually, I think I'm a little different than this. I think I should hang out with a different group of people, or do different things, or act a different sort of way, or dress different. Like, I feel like it's some sort of personal ending that you experience. And you have to like release your guilt for, I feel like, probably like putting yourself in a box. I feel like you really do that. I feel like you probably, you set expectations for yourself, and then you're disappointed if you don't meet them. But I mean, they're not really expectations that make you happy to meet. So it's sort of, you should begin to question why you're having those expectations to begin with. You need to not be like mad at yourself also, I feel like, for holding yourself to these expectations. God, it is like it is an insular energy, and even this energy, so like the other cards, why I think it is more of like a personal insular energy is because there isn't a lot of, involvement with other people in the other cards, except for these two cards. But I'm getting this is more of like a support system, which usually the Five of Wands, it's kind of a little bit like, these guys are all toughing it out, and they may not all be on a team together, or it's never given me that impression before, but right now it's giving me the impression that they are all on a team together. And then this one is also giving me a very similar sort of like support team vibe. So I think that it is like, the people in your life right now, maybe you do have some people that you feel you can truly trust in your life, like family members, friends. I think that you are sort of being called to rely on them right now, or allow them to support you in the ways that they're able to. All right. We're going to get one more about that energy. And then we're going to get some more about like the current energy that you're in. So this is the current energy that you're in. The current energy that you're in is that you're creating what you want. But it's, right now I did want to get a little bit of clarity on what it is that you're leaving. Lioness, you've earned all your stripes. Yeah, so this is like the perfect last card to draw about this sort of Three of Swords energy. So it's that you've truly, whatever it is that you've grown, whatever like insecurities that you've built a solid enough foundation for yourself. Like, look at this tower. This tower is not on fire at all. It's not a tower moment. It's just like simply a beautiful tower that you built. So that's what you did. You were the magician from the ground up. You built a beautiful tower for yourself. Infinity. And so it's something that's going to endure. And so you've created a true sense of stability for yourself. And so like your confidence is something that is genuine. And so you truly you have reached the end of a cycle in a way. So you are able to you have the self-awareness to be able to bring in the types of relationships and the types of people that are exactly aligned with what you consciously want in the moment. And I think that you have sort of such a strong grasp over yourself, and you have such a strong sense of self-awareness that you are always sort of conscious of what you want in the moment, Like, I think that you're always aware of what you can handle. So I think that after this heartbreak moment, I think that you're aware, like right now I can't handle a true relationship. I can't handle actually any sort of relationship with anyone. I need to just rely on my support system that I already have to sort of help me through this. And then they do, and you come out of it, and it feels like this, but eventually you are able to regain some true personal sense of, fulfillment and satisfaction, and like a foundation. But it's then that you have to realize, like, okay, now I can be ready for a relationship, and now I can bring it in. And so there could be a sense for some of you of like having been alone for quite a while, but and you it is going to be a little bit of, a biggish deal to finally put yourself out there again, but you're definitely being encouraged to, if you feel like the time is right. And so we'll draw some cards about that next relationship. So here, we're going to put these The thing is, I just feel, I'm pretty sure I like intuitively do a layout. I don't really like do anything specific. I think I may have been doing the same layout for all these readings though, so I never really think about how I should arrange them in the camera. Okay, but yeah, so I should do it this way. Alright, we're good. Alright, now pile 3's relationship, next relationship, the one that they're creating. So I think that it could really be different for different people. It depends on where you are sort of on this journey. I feel this is what's interesting about these cards, these messages so far. They have been getting a little bit of like, a journey, a background. So I think for different people, you could be on different ends of this. So for some people, you could be in the state where you're feeling a little too recently stung and you're not ready for something yet. But and then I think it's going to go from that to then you're going to be ready to meet people casually, but just sort of, I think that you're not sort of ready for anything super, super serious yet, and so I don't think that you ever meet anyone who would be very serious. And then I think, it is very much a sense of, and then after that, like, I think you realize, oh, okay, now I've seen enough people sort of casually, and I'm comfortable enough doing this again. I can do it. I've sort of, yeah, I believe in myself again. And then it's going to be very much like, when you're ready, you're ready. Purgatory, yeah, so that was like, so I think that that's probably where a lot of you guys are right now. I think that a lot of you guys are probably in purgatory, and it may be a little bit, like, hypocritical, I want to say, because I feel like you guys are probably interested in some sort of romantic thing, but I think that there is just some side of you also that probably figures maybe right now is not the best time, or maybe like that was something that you recently were feeling. I think that you were serendipity. Yeah, I think that though, like, it is a sense of like, you're gonna feel that way for a time period, but then eventually it will pass, like, it's just like how I feel like there may have been a time period in your life where you were really really adamant about a relationship maybe, and so maybe that caused you to be in relationships with the wrong people or just like friendships or something. But I think that there's some level of, you did have like relationship lessons in the past, and so I think that, just as that eventually turned into you wanting to become more insular, that phase also passes into you wanting to explore something with someone else. So I don't think that, if you're currently in this purgatory, I don't think that you should hold yourself to always being in this, even if you do currently want to stay in that energy. But I feel like for a lot of you, you probably don't, where there are conflicting feelings. You feel comfortable in it, but you don't, you want to feel comfortable with someone else, I feel like, instead. And I feel like it is going to happen. It's going to happen at the right time, which, maybe you don't like that answer that much, but let's see, what else? Color, yeah, so there is like very little energy that's being given right now. There's very little about the actual relationship, so I think that it is going to be, probably most of you right now are in purgatory, and you are sort of in the phase where you want to just like sort of meet people and gain some sort of sense of confidence in yourself, and so you are, you're putting yourself out there, and you're doing things that you're interested in and that you want to do, and you're living life how you want to live it. And so you just sort of naturally come upon people and places and circumstances that just let you be that little bit much more confident in yourself. And as that happens, like, you're building up your confidence to truly, meet new people. So we have gratitude. So like all these people adding color, and it's gonna be like, just, maybe it's like something like strangers saying that you look beautiful, or it's going to be like just encountering a really nice person who says you have great energy, or just like maybe things just work out for you spontaneously. It's just gonna be like little things that let you feel like the universe and people are on your side, and like humanity is on your side. And that's just gonna, like, it's just gonna be little stuff like that, and then you're gonna do big self-directed stuff of like trying to, really create a solid foundation for yourself. So you're going to become a lot more confident, a lot more understanding and self-aware of who you are. And so, surrender. You're going to surrender to that energy, and then ultimately, the messenger. You will be very much handed exactly what you want and what you feel you can handle in that moment. And it's never going to be one or the other. So you're never going to be given something that you cannot handle, or even something that you feel you cannot handle. If it's something you feel you cannot handle, or are worried about it, I am probably getting the message right now. Of course, do what you feel is right. But I'm getting the message right now to probably not do it. I don't think that this is the time to really be stressing yourself out, especially if you are sort of freshly out of this Three of Swords energy. So your what is next is exactly what you want and feel is to be next. And so, maybe you do, if you don't resonate with this, you could definitely have messages in another pile, or maybe none of the piles. That could also be the case. But I am sort of getting this energy of either you recently were not really ready to be in a relationship yet, and right now you are getting ready to manifest that, or you are currently in that energy and you will soon be getting ready to manifest that. And I think that it could be that right now you're dating, or that soon you could be dating. Like dating around casually, just to, or just putting yourself out there. Maybe it could be, you going on Tinder, or you, I don't know, just maybe joining like a Facebook group and interacting with people and having a lot of people, interact with you. It could be whatever aligns with you, or whatever you would like it to be, whatever you feel comfortable with it being. It could definitely be something like over social media or online. But I feel like it's also probably something in real life for you to gain sort of like all sorts of confidence. I feel like the real life occurrences could definitely be like things like just people, you know, giving you something for free, or yes, saying like that they really like you or something like that. Okay, but pile 3, I am going to leave your reading here. If you liked that, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what resonated. Tell me what you would like to see in a reading. But keep in mind that I do only do, you know, the readings that I resonate with. And then I have the energy to do. But you had like you had a very nice reading, very intense reading. I feel like your reading is probably, yeah, a little bit more of the, I want to say the heavier energies that I channel, just because I feel like you do have a lot of like sort of consistent internal battles. And so I feel like I sort of recognize your energy. So you may even, okay, I'll say, even if you listened to the message and did not feel like you resonated with the energy, you could just not like the energy. You could have truly just not resonated with it also, but I feel like if you didn't resonate with it, I think that you could still have messages in other videos of mine, because I think I do recognize your energy that I was picking up on. But anyway, we will say goodbye, and I'll see you in the next one. Oh my gosh, is the next one Dalmatian Jasper? No, I think it's Red Jasper. Okay, hello pile 4. If you chose this Red Jasper, this will be your reading. Your card is the Wheel of Fortune. Destiny signifies uncontrollable events or relationships connected to your destiny. Accept them lovingly. So that's a little chaotic, you know? It says uncontrollable, and then it says accept them lovingly, which that feels like a peaceful energy, but, you know, this is a lot going on right here. I mean, I love the symmetry of this card, the sun right here and then the moon down there. I think that it is, I'm getting the message that that's a little bit like you and whoever whatever this card is referring to. There's an aspect of, there's a relationship here where it's like this moon and the sun and the moon, yin and yang, like opposites that are perfectly complementary. Okay, let's see, let's get some cards about yours, about your energy. I'm feeling like this could be a current energy that you're in. Or that you're soon coming into. Let's see. Yeah, it could be that you're soon coming into. I did see the 5 of Pentacles peeking through. Let's see. Pile 1. Oh, yeah, and then see, I see the 2 of Cups peeking through, the 2 of Cups peeking through as well. So yeah, let's do a little bit of some knocks. Oh, and then we get the 5 of Pentacles again right there. Yep, I feel like for sure. Okay, so let's see. The Devil. You've been working. Oof. The Sun. You've been working. You've been working hard. I'm feeling like you're giving me Capricorn energy. The 7 of Cups. You're making decisions for yourself. You're consciously ruminating over things, and you're making decisions, and you're steering the wheel. Or you're thinking that you can steer the wheel. The Star, yeah, you're trying to control things that maybe maybe you don't have too much control over. I mean, yeah, it signifies uncontrollable events. Queen of Swords. Okay. I'm gonna go in and clarify it some more. So the Devil and the Sun, I mean, this is powerful, you know? You have 3 major arcana, and then you have the 7 of Cups and the Queen of Swords. And here's the 10 of Cups peeking out right there and sliding out, and I'm not going to take it, but it did want to show itself just a little bit. Alright, so let's see. Feels like you've been manifesting this. I feel like you've been like manifesting a relationship, like a very divine relationship, probably. I hear a bird tweeting outside, and then I see a bird with the Queen of Swords. So I'm feeling like you have been a little bit dreamy, maybe, you know, it's weird. I feel like you've been having a sense of control, but also, like, inability to control when it comes to, like, your romantic fate. There's the Devil, and then there's also the Sun. And while it's interesting because it's like they're a little bit opposites, but they're not quite. They're a little bit complementary, but they're not quite. You know, the Devil is not quite the opposite of the Sun, but it has a similar energy to the Moon, which is the opposite of the Sun. So I feel like there's a little bit of, yeah, so I think that before probably you were, this is, you know, yeah, a little bit of the story of the background, the energy that you're coming into this with, into the next part of your romantic life. This is the energy of the chapter that you sort of recently left. I feel like you probably try to control events and people in ways that they cannot be controlled. You probably have a little bit of rose-colored glasses on. That's kind of what the energy of the star gives me. It's sort of like a very dreamy, clouded energy, like foggy, you know, like I'm getting like the condensation on like a car window. Like you need to kind of specifically turn something on to see past it. So I think that there is something here where you had something that was, you thought it was your complementary, but not quite, you know. You were working a little bit too hard to make it fit into your situation when it just sort of naturally didn't. You had a lot of cups, but maybe, you know, one stood out to you the most, and maybe you really wanted one out of all of them, or you were sort of ignoring the others and focusing on one, and maybe you had to, I guess feels like your lesson was you had to find the cups to be who they were, you know, you had to see them for who they were. You couldn't make some dreamy, other energy from them, because look at this Queen of Swords. She is being a little airy, you know, like she's looking at this butterfly, but she's not even noticing the bird behind it right there. And I feel like the bird is probably the one that's a little bit more pressing, you know. I'm getting the energy almost like the bird bringing a message, and then the Queen of Swords is just like sort of like mentally not there. I'm feeling a sort of bit of a blocked energy with it. So we have Judgment to clarify the Devil, yeah. So I mean, whoever these other people were that you thought you could control them, obviously you ended up, you know, not being able to. They had to be like, you know, unmasked eventually. Eventually there was like, you know, this sort of Judgment Day. I always think of Judgment Day usually when I see the Judgment card. Let's see what else. So this was wanting to come out. The Nine of Swords to clarify the Sun. Yeah, I mean, like, that's what you thought. You thought, like, I feel like you're probably the Sun, and the partners that you seek out are probably the Devil. And so I think that you maybe you have an energy of liking people who are a little bit, you know, a little bit of a bad boy or something. Like, that's just figurative regardless of gender. But I mean, I think that there could be an energy of you very much sort of building there to be a relationship where there is not naturally one, or you building someone up to be someone who they are not naturally accustomed to be. And so there is some sort of energy of, you know, eventually having, I'm getting like, you know, a little bit of a blocked energy from the sun too. There is an energy of having to sort of realize this is the Nine of Swords, so not quite the Ten of Swords yet. So it's like sort of having to realize before it's a little like too late what the truth is, and sort of having to come to terms with it and meditate on it and understand it. And so I think that, you know, these are lessons that you've had to learn in the past, and maybe it's not even that you've been into real solid long-term connections with people in the past, but you've just sort of, you weren't able to get relationships off the ground, you weren't able to get this, you know, wheel truly turning because you never had the right wheel to begin with, you know, like you were barking up the wrong tree, you were just completely like, what's it called? Pursuing the wrong person. The World, yeah. So, I mean, there's like definitely some cycle here with the Seven of Cups. Like, you're just continuously, I feel like you keep choosing, you like, look, this is like a person, like this is a cup with a person in it. You keep choosing the same single person, the same single cup. And like you, or like the same sort of energy, you know? I feel like you go through the same cycles. Maybe it's all with different people, maybe it's with the same person, but it's the same cycle that you go through, and you need to, you need to sort of like control, in a sense, the coming out of that energy. You know, you need to truly like walk away from this cycle, this tendency to sort of try and control people and give them attributes that they don't naturally have. Three of Swords, yeah, Three of Swords. So I think that the other pile 3, had literally that same card in the same position. So you could have messages in that pile. And then we have the Page of Pentacles to clarify the Queen of Swords. So yeah, I mean, this dream-like energy has scorned you in the past, but I mean, this is more of the same message. I don't want to dwell too much on it, because I think that like what's also beautiful is that you're going to be able to move past this, and like the Wheel of Fortune, like that is something heavily fated. That's a very like important card. I think that something is coming for you, and I think that once you close out this cycle, that's when you're going to get it. So let's get some energy about the relationship that you're going to be getting, because I think that this is like, I don't want to dwell too much on that energy, you know. I don't want to, because I think that it's something, you know. I think that it's a cycle that you have been in for a while, and you do kind of know that you need to get out of it, and you're sort of, I feel like, you know, this is giving me a little bit of like magician, but like the tormented magician. Like it's a little bit of a struggle card to me, and so I feel like you are struggling. It's difficult, you know. This is a Capricorn energy, so you have been at it, and it has been tough. Let's get some energy of like, what are you coming into? God, wow, that's intensely, intensely intense. That's very intense. So God, I mean, definitely, okay, you could resonate with, you know, twin flame, eternal embrace. Okay, so it's going to be something that you're really comfortable with. It's going to be a very sweet and connected. I'm also getting the energy of like the little children card, honestly. So it's going to be a very sweet and connected relationship that you're bringing in. It's going to be very comforting, very stable also. Let's see what else. But yeah, if you resonate with twin flames, I'm sort of feeling that energy. The beloved, yeah, that's how you guys are going to feel. I love the energy of this too, you know, like look at the purple and then the red, and then this card is purple and red, and so it is sort of like the yin yang, the perfect yin yang union, yin yang union. And look at how these cards mirror each other, Magdalene and then intimacy. There is going to be a sort of energy of, you know, through this person also that you come into being with next, it's probably going to be, yeah, like a long-term, deeply committed relationship, because I think that's been what you've been wanting all along, but I think that you've been putting yourself in a sort of cycle of trying to get that with completely the wrong people. And so I think that you did have to like withdraw from that energy of, you know, putting yourself out there too hard, too hastily, had to rebuild your own foundation, and then, you know, when you're ready, you go back out there, you sort of meet fate halfway and create the foundation in yourself so that the universe can sort of effortlessly bring you the right person and you can recognize them with ease. And I think that that's what's happening. You're moving past this Magdalene karmic energy into just sort of like a more wholesome, like soulmate intimacy energy. Illumination, that's beautiful. So that's like a final summation energy. So it's just going to be, yeah, you're going to realize a lot of things about yourself, I feel like, in this new relationship, because, yeah, you are going to be sort of completing the cycles that you were closing before, you know? So I think that now, because this relationship is going to be everything that you anticipated the other relationships to be, now you're going to have problems of like, you know, trusting that this relationship is sustainable, that it's actually going to last, that just because it's not like there are other relationships, you know, it's not going to end just like them, you know, you should be like, you know, it's not like my other relationships, so maybe it won't end, or maybe, you know, it's in trusting that it's going to continue to be like not your other relationships, you know, it's not going to suddenly turn into your other relationships. So there's going to be just like a lot of epiphanies throughout this next journey that you go on. And I think that whatever it is, I think that it is probably with like very much a life partner. I am getting like heavy soulmate energy. So even if, you know, you don't resonate with twin flame, this is definitely like going to be a soulmate energy. And the thing is, if it is a twin flame, it's going to be one of the twin flames where you're both heavily, completely, almost healed independently. And so, like, coming together is, you know, no big deal. Or, I mean, it's a very big deal, but it's like, it's not too difficult. Let's get some more from this deck. Just a couple. Clover, release your guilt. I think, I don't know if it was pile 1 or pile 2, but another pile had this. I feel like maybe even the last pile did. A lot have had it. Yeah, I mean, just again, it's like this illumination. Just release your guilt. Release the just release your ties to the past in general. You know, and like you are going to. This card is always an enigma to me because clover makes me think of 4-leaf clover, which makes me, and there are 4-leaf clovers on here, which makes me think of luck, you know, there are 4-leaf clovers on this card, and so it's always confusing because it's like, how, what does that, release your guilt, what does that have to do with 4-leaf clover? But I mean, anyway, the message I'm getting right now, I've never delved that deeply into it, but right now the message I'm getting is release this thing in the past and you're going to get, release this cycle in the past and you are going to get like a person and a situation that will prove to you, why you should have closed that cycle and why you made the right decision. And, it's going to feel like, you had this lucky, fated, encounter because you did something. I feel like it could feel like that energy. You could feel like if you had not closed out that cycle, you would have never met that person. Villain, you can always rewrite the story, yes. So rewrite that story with your person. That other one, close the cycle. I mean, there's like, it's uncontrollable, but you need to understand where you can control things. You're not tethered to someone. And then feather, think first before you judge. Okay, so that could actually be an energy of like your future, when you meet this future partner. I think that it's going to be important for you to really pause, not have on rose-colored glasses, for you to maintain a sort of temperance energy. That's the energy also that I'm getting for you. Maintain a temperance energy so that you can sort of level-headedly get to know them. So that you can, because I think that you may be very much, be given people by the universe who are very much, still not aligned with you. So I think you are going to sort of have to, parse through that and find the genuine people that you're supposed to connect with, including this future partner, whoever it is. But I think that it is, something that you're going to have to be a little bit intentional about. You're definitely you're going to want to set the intention into the universe, because you're going to want to try and co-create with the universe to have this happen. There is like a fated aspect of it, but there's definitely like a, you're going to learn this lesson, but it's like do you want to learn it sooner rather than later? If so, then like take a little bit of control. But, okay, pile 3, I'm going to leave your message there. If you would like to know a little bit more, like, about this partner that you're bringing in, because it definitely is, you got the God card first for, like, about the energy of this relationship, so it's definitely going to be a little intense, but, like, wonderfully intense, like, intensely wonderful. If you want to learn a little bit about that relationship, you can feel free to watch some of my other readings, about your future spouse. But if you liked this reading, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, let me know what resonated. Let me know what readings you would like me to do, but keep in mind that I will only do readings that my energy allows me to, and readings that I am aligned with. So I'm going to leave it at that, and we are going to see pile 5. You were pile 4, or was I calling you pile 3? Sorry. Alright. Hello, pile 5. If you chose this Dalmatian Jasper, this will be your reading. So you got the Emperor, stability or stabilizing influence coming into your life. So you know what? I'm actually going to draw another card with this, because I remember when this came out, I was a little bit iffy on whether or not I wanted to take it. So I'm going to draw another card for it, because this energy, it is a little bit confusing, Dalmatian Jasper, I never really know quite what to make of it. So let's get some other cards. Let's learn about pile 5 and the energy of their current or like upcoming. The thing is, the energy that I've been channeling, it's been like a little bit of a timeline. So I think definitely take whatever part of the timeline that you resonate with. The Tower, positive changes. Okay, intense. Wow, I don't think I've ever really like seen this Tower card before. Wow. Oh my gosh, I feel like actually that's different. Wow. Wait. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen that Tower card before. Let's see. I feel like there was another one in this deck. Let's see. No. Okay, well, that's interesting. This is honestly, it's reminding me of a fish. Maybe some of you guys are Pisces. Just take what resonates. So the Tower, positive changes, unexpected breakup or destruction is required to release you from old chains to promote your growth. Okay, interesting. Let's get some energy on it. So the Emperor, let's see, what's going on? Nine of Pentacles, Nine of Pentacles, Four of Swords, Six of Cups. Let's see, what is going on? So the Tower is like positive changes, but then it mentions breakup, and I'm like, what? Three of Cups, Five of Pentacles. Oh, let's clarify this energy, because I was gonna say something, but then I saw the Five of Pentacles, and I was like, let's not say it too soon. All right, let's get some of it. So let's clarify the Nine of Pentacles. We got the Eight of Swords. Interesting. All right, let's clarify the Nine of Swords. And we got the Two of Cups. All right, let's clarify the Six of Cups. Six of Cups, we got the Queen of Pentacles. For the Three of Cups, we got the Five of Cups. Okay, so it goes Three of Cups, Five of Cups, it skips the Four of Cups. And then Five of Pentacles. The Nine of Swords. Interesting. So we have 1 9 on the top left corner, 1 9 on the bottom right. So it's a different sort of thing. I mean, this was already a very complicated energy, you know, even in the beginning when I just was first, you know, shuffling the cards. And then, you know, I got the Emperor, and I wasn't too happy with that card, but I also wasn't unhappy with it, and I was just a little bit confused, I guess. And so then I shuffled a little bit more, and then I got the Tower card, which was really not what I was expecting. And I also feel like I have never seen this Tower card before. I feel like it is not something I recognize at all. There are no people in it. There are like sort of just like little bits floating off like they're in space. It looks like it has an eye, and it looks like that's literally like its eyeball, and its mouth is like breathing fire, and that's its hair. That's what it looks like to me. It looks like the worm from SpongeBob, like the giant tapeworm. But anyway, I'm just rambling, but I mean, this is like so confusing for me. And it says unexpected breakup or destruction is required to release you from old chains to promote your growth. So let's actually see this. So I'm going to specifically ask about the energy of the Tower, because right now what I'm not knowing is, you know, I'm just really not knowing if this is something that you're instigating or that someone else is instigating. It could be very much that, you know, someone else has put you through a Tower moment recently, or they will. This is upcoming, or it's something that's happened in the past. So let's see. We got mural, be your own first priority. So let's see. So the Tower card. So that makes it seem like it was self-directed. Nostalgia, focus on the here and now. Homework, take yourself out on a date. Ooh, and sundress, do it for you. Wow, this is interesting. There's snow. This card really It reminds me of the Tower card. So let's see. So I asked, what's this Tower card about? And it gave me mural, be your own first priority. Nostalgia, focus on the here and now. Homework, take yourself out on a date. Sundress, do it for you. So I think that it's probably something, it could be different for all of you, but I think that there's probably some energy of, I think that you're doing it, actually, I think that you're taking control and you're being the emperor. And I think that you're sort of like, sorry about my toes. I think that you're taking control and cutting something off, or you're making a tower moment happen very unexpectedly. Or, it could even be that something is, forcing you to undergo a tower moment, but I think even if that is the case, I think that you're going to like end up taking control of it yourself and sort of like redirect it to being like a win for you. I think that, yeah, you're going to, whatever it is that happens that's unexpected, because look at this Tower card, it's also reminding me of the Dalmatian Jasper itself. So I feel like, the current energy is that it's getting shaken up a little bit. I think that you're probably just leaving, I think that this is not a relationship-based energy, honestly. I think that it's more so of I think it could really more so be like a life-based energy change, like you could just be, it could be both, maybe you're breaking up with someone that you're moved in with, and so because you're breaking up with them, you have to physically like uproot your life and move out somewhere else. But I am getting the energy of like, you could definitely be moving back home. You could be moving to a place that feels a little bit more comfortable, a little bit more like home. You could just like, so I'm feeling like right now, you had this Nine of Pentacles, and then you did sort of have to like quickly switch energy and realize that there is some sort of like maybe like celebratory home like nostalgic feeling that you're missing, that you're feeling disconnected to, and so you did have to like sort of make a big switch in your life, and maybe it could be career based. But I'm getting mainly the energy that it's sort of like lifestyle based. So, regardless of what it is, it's going to be something that deeply impacts your lifestyle. So, it's going to be something where like changing this is going to change like most other things in your life. So I think it could definitely be somewhere like moving away, but it also could just be something like, moving home or moving somewhere more comfortable, moving to an apartment more comfortable. It's just going to be like a complete energy change. And so it's not something exactly you weren't really expecting to do this, but it is going to be something, that you do it with a positive outcome to be expected. You have like this sort of surrendering Four of Swords energy, but then you also have the Two of Cups right beneath it. So like you do believe ultimately it's going to bring you fulfillment and union. And then we have this Queen of Pentacles. You really hope to be able to bring yourself this Six of Cups soulmate energy. You want to be able to bring yourself this Three of Cups energy, but right now you feel like you're missing something. You're missing the stable foundation that is had with the Four of Cups. You're missing the option for it. Quite literally, you're missing the ability to be handed a cup. So you're alone with your Five Cups, and you're sort of daydreaming about this Three of Cups energy, about this celebratory energy. And so I think that you're making a sort of big lifestyle change so that you can bring in a little bit more comfort to your life. And I think that in doing this, you are going to sort of also be trying to, I think that you're going to be wanting to do this in your relationship too. I think that your relationship life, I think that you're going to be wanting to bring in this sort of like very comfortable energy. And so I think that doing this in your life, like in one way, is going to bring in that similar energy in a relationship. It's going to bring in a mirrored energy in your relationship. So you're going to sort of make a positive change in your life, take control, be the emperor, be, the Queen of Pentacles, which is right here. You're going to be the Queen of Pentacles, and you're going to try and, uproot whatever it is that you have to uproot and try and build a solid foundation for yourself. And in doing that, you're going to bring in a relationship. And so let's get some energy about that relationship. There's an energy of maybe it just being, yeah, I think that you just simply want more joy in your life. I think that it could be, the Emperor is a little bit more of like a cold card, and there is a lot of confusing energy here. So it could be something like, maybe your morals are changing, your values, maybe what it is that you're wanting out of a lifestyle is changing. And so as you're changing, as this Emperor is sort of like morphing into different versions of himself, and is embracing his Queen of Pentacles, because it's not just a King of Pentacles, it's a Queen of Pentacles too, he's able to be in that feminine receptive type energy. So like he's exploring different parts of himself, and so I think that you're as you're doing that, you're being primed for a new relationship. And I think that it's probably, I forgot why I started saying that. I felt like I started saying that for a specific reason. But yeah, let's get some energy about the relationship. So it's like, what's next in your relationship? Well, right now, or what's the current energy? I keep confusing it because I'm doing a little bit of both. But I mean, like, because it is a little bit of a story. But like, currently, what's right now, for you guys, I feel like is, right now you feel a little bit left out in the cold by a situation that you, because, I think, or you're leaving something out in the cold more so. I feel like, yeah, it is you sort of leaving something. I think that you are really directing this tower moment. So I think that you're leaving something out in the cold. You're realizing that you have something, but like just in sort of like a lifestyle sort of way. And I think that maybe you're, I think that before it could be that, because it is, you're changing something about a lifestyle, and I think that you're changing it to be a little bit more wholesome, maybe a little bit more connected to your, your soul tribe in a way. But I feel like it is going to be something that, where it's like you are going to want to embody a more sort of like comfortable soulmate energy for yourself in your everyday life, and that is going to bring in a person like that. Whereas before, I feel like you probably had a lot of very abrasive people put in your path, because I think that that's the energy you were giving out. But I think that you are going to sort of be embracing a little bit more of like a soft, cushier side of yourself, and in doing that, you're going to bring that in a relationship. And I think that, none of these other energies were really grounding into solid long-term relationships because they truly weren't what you were looking for. And I think you've always have had a strong sense of self, but I think that you just were never really given people with, the similar attributes that you were looking for. And I think that you are realizing now that that could very much be because you weren't putting yourself in the situations that would have those sort of people be in them, Like, I think you were probably maybe around crowds of people who were not genuine. Maybe you were in careers or like in a specific workplace where people just were not like the most genuine people. Maybe you were, your just lifestyle was just not attuned to being with like the type of people that you want to attract in a future partner. And so I feel like now you're making the conscious decision to change your lifestyle to make it match that of what you want in a partner. And I think that it's working. I think that you're drawing it in. There is just some sort of like darker energy to this. Not like dark, but like a more like more edgier energy to like you, honestly. Saint/sinner, yeah, as I was saying that, yeah, I mean, there is an energy of, I feel like probably before you were very much, I wouldn't be surprised if you were a little bit into, maybe more flingy type relationships, yeah, because I think that you just sort of, you were never given the people that you would want to have anything more than a fling with. Eternal embrace, yeah, and then this next relationship that you're being given, it's going to be that for you. So another card had, or another pile had eternal embrace. God, yeah, so I think that it's going to restore your faith in things. Gratitude, wow, another pile literally I feel like had like these 3 cards come out. That's kind of incredible. So let's get some more. oh wow, color, and then I think that they may have had that color as well, that card as well. That's incredible. But yeah, so I'm recognizing a lot of these same cards, so you could have messages in other piles for sure, but I'm getting the energy that your next relationship is going to be something that is much more wholesome and much sweeter than anything you've experienced before. I think that currently you're in this energy of like making some big sort of lifestyle change, and so I think that this person is going to come in when things are just a little bit more stable, probably when you're very much not expecting it. I think that it is going to be still in sort of a transitionary period, so if it's going to be when you're stable, I think it's when you're just starting to really be stable, or if it's, when you are already stable, I think it's when you're just starting to be a little bit more, spontaneous and just like going out or something. I think it's going to be in a period of your life where you're like trying to break out and do a little bit more fun, spontaneous things, because you're already going to sort of be a little bit in this, lighthearted soulmate energy. And it's beautiful because I keep referring it to as like the soulmate energy. But it's going to be the soulmate energy for yourself, It's going to be you just trying to be giddy and childlike and beautiful with yourself, I'm getting the energy of the little children card from this deck. And so it's going to be an energy of you knowing you're going to be, when you meet your this next partner who is going to be, basically the person that you're looking for, I think that you're going to be you're going to be in this energy of just being happy to be where you are in life, because you know that you're going to be attracting exactly the right energy for you. I think that by this time you probably would have had like tangible proof of you being, having made the right big uprooting life decision. I think that you probably, the energies that are surrounding you are probably very, very sweet. I think that whatever new context that you find yourself in, I think that it's going to have very nice people, very nice scenery, very nice just energy to it, and so it's going to make you feel very nice and feel very comforted and validated in making this decision for yourself. And I think that you're going to know deep within your soul that you made the right decision and that you are set on course to make the life that you want to make for yourself. And I think that you understand that you're going to be able to find this like perfect sort of complementary counterpart that will relate to this sort of soulmate childlike energy with yourself. They're going to be someone very sweet, very gentle, very tender, and you're going to really find a lot of comfort with them, and they're going to find a lot of comfort with you, which you are going to be a little bit surprised about, because I feel like you never really thought of yourself as a very soft, comforting person, but they're very much going to be deeply comforted by your energy. Oh my gosh, that was a lot. That was a lot of just simply straight channeling. It was a lot of confusing energy. I think that, maybe right now you're a little bit starting to, cocoon yourself in this sort of awareness that the tower needs to happen. You're starting to embody and step into this emperor energy, and you realize that this tower needs to happen. Maybe you were a little bit wary of it happening. Or, right now you're just starting to see the spots, you're starting to see these little, bits of the tower chip away, and so you're starting to understand, okay, now I need to jump in and control this myself, and need to, make this tower happen in a way where I am going to be able to benefit from it. And so I think that that could be the energy that you're in right now. And so I think that soon after this reading, hopefully take what resonates, of course, with this reading. Maybe none of it resonated for you and you should pick a different pile or just a different reading in general. But if you did resonate with this reading, I think that the next steps could be you, seeing this tower moment through, and then embodying this soulmate energy, and then you will, come into contact with the exact energy that you want to be with right now. And I think that right now you're a little bit confused about what that energy is, but I think that you're going to be realizing it is a sort of Six of Cups energy. It is not a flighty, flirty, seductive, deceiving energy that you want right now. Right now, what you want is genuine connection and deep connection and soulmate connection. But I am going to leave your reading right there, pile number 5. I hope you liked that reading. I enjoyed delivering that message. I hope you needed to hear it. I hope that it was, hit the right way. I hope that you interpreted it the way I intended, the way it was meant to be interpreted. If you enjoyed this reading, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what resonated. Let me know what type of reading you would like to see next, but keep in mind that I'll only do what my energy allows me to. I'll only do readings that I'm aligned with. But I hope you have a nice day, night, evening, what have you, and I will see you in the next reading. Bye, guys.